Anyway, welcome to the Inner Room with Out of My Damn Mind. This is the space where walls fall away, where stories don't just get told, they land messy, real, and alive. Here, writers open the door to what drives them, what haunts them, and what keeps them going. Every voice has its own rhythm, its own scars, its own sparks, and together we trace the threads that hold us, break us, and connect us all. I am so honored to finally be welcome, great motherhood. Oh my God, I love the wig and everything. It's very festive. Thank you for finally being here.
Thank you for having me.
Always, always. I'm glad that we were able to reschedule this, and I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah, likewise. I'm excited.
Rebecca, I can't. Amani's. I'm going to say some of the names, not all the names. Obviously, we love to engage with the chat, so we always promote chat participation. But
Also, Rebe, you still haven't guessed my word, just so you know.
Wait, what?
Oh, it's an Hogwarts thing. Are you not participating, Auda?
What's Nachos sent me it, and I haven't done it yet.
Okay. Well, you're
He was
behind.
like, "You need." Yeah, he's like, "You need to be sorted," and I was like, I'm behind him.
Well, wait, you haven't even been sorted?
No, I'm behind in my life.
Oh, well, no wonder. Okay, never mind.
I'm running at a very slow speed, apparently. I'm gonna catch up, though. Give me time. I'll be back here in, like, a day and be like, "I know now what you were talking about."
It's okay.
I'm gonna get it, don't you worry, Rebecca says.
Not if I can help it. Not if I can help it.
So is there a game happening right now?
Yes, it's
Okay.
it's kind of like what was gonna be Assassins when Nog announced that. So he
Okay.
gave us all 7 words to use in 6 days, and we have to use, like, approximately 1 a day in a note, and, if somebody guesses it, we, like, are out for the week or something. I don't really know how the points work, and then if you guess it, then you get points for your house or something like that. We're just sneaking
Using words.
Yeah.
I like
We're
the word.
sneaky secret words
I love the
in our
word.
notes.
I love that. And now now when we're done with this, I'm gonna have to go to that post and get sorted and figure my life out, apparently. So thank you for joining me and being dedicated to this ridiculousness that I now call the inner room. That once that once was unscripted and unfiltered, which was once uh locals loading. That was the first live that I had. So
I didn't even know that version.
yeah, well, that was just me and Anna Lewis because we lived in different places than we grew up in. And she was in Greece, but I was in Florida. So it was just like it was cool to have a cool little connection, and hers being like a completely different country. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know your first one was Anna Lewis. That's awesome.
yeah, I tell her all the time, I was like, you're the one that continues to inspire me to do new things, because when you see somebody pack up their whole life from Tennessee and move to Greece, you're just like, and then like visually you can see her living her best life. You're just like, yeah, I want that for me too. I want that for me too. So we're gonna continue to get there. It says patchy internet. Shit.
It says patchy internet. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
what if it's their internet though?
Oh, see, this is always the hard situation about Wi-Fi and internet. But anyways, it is still the same, unscripted and unfiltered, and the inner room is still based on 20 curated questions for my co-host. So I'm going to get into my first one, the great motherhood. How did you first find your way to Substack, and what made you stay?
It's a very boring story. I had, like, the worst day ever at work. I was so burned out. It was, like, a really toxic day at the office. I was at my wit's end, and I was, like, literally just asking ChatGPT, like, "What can I do as a side hustle?" Like, anything. Like, "How can I possibly make money any different way than this stupid job?" Um, and it had a myriad of answers and things, but one of the things that it mentioned just offhand was start a blog on Substack, and of course, it was, like it suggested it in the realm of, like, "Oh, go, like, pick something you're an expert in, like sales, and make content and do, like, the top 5 tips, whatever, and then, like, sell a notebook or a e-document or an ebook and that kinda stuff, and you can, like, make money on Substack." And I was like, okay, maybe I can do that." And then I joined and I did nothing of the sort, but, like, because that's just not me. Um, but yeah, I'd never even heard of Substack before ChatGPT mentioned it among, like, 20 different things. I was just like, I don't know what this is. I'll check it out." What what could I lose, right?
So what has made you stay?
The people for sure. I didn't realize I was gonna meet so many cool people. I didn't realize I was gonna get. I didn't think I would get followers. You know, I didn't think I'd get one follower. I didn't think I would connect with just so many amazing souls on this. So it's definitely staying for the community. Although I will say that, and I'm not the only one that's noticed, but I will say that the algorithm, the recent changes have like effed everything up, and I feel like cut off from my community in a way because my feed is full of like randomness and people that I don't know, and I feel like a bunch of people that I follow aren't even in my feed anymore, and I just feel like super out of touch with like a lot of people. So not happy with the algo right now. I think no
It
one is.
I mean, it's kinda crazy that you said that because, I feel like there are people that I have to go search to go read that I don't even see it in my, like they don't even see their recent posts in my subscriptions or
Yep.
anything like that, and I'm like and if I miss it in the email, I'm just like, "Oh, wait, how did this happen 3 days ago? How did I miss this?" And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not really seeing it being pushed, I guess, the same way. So that
Yeah.
it is kinda interesting, but I'm also not really seeing growth. Like, I feel like I'm still just I'm trapped in a weird bubble, and I'm like, I have to go find my people, but we're all in the same little small bubble and we can't find each other. It's fucking weird. It's
Yeah,
bizarre.
isn't that weird? You would think that at least if it's like feeding you a fresh new audience that you would see more growth, but it's like it's the worst of both worlds. Thanks, Substack.
It's just reshuffling. It's just like, "Here, continue to find, sort, 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 sort." It's, I guess, a weird situation, I don't know, but apparently our chat agrees, The Weight of Almost, Beth, they both agree. The Night of Love says, "I have no clue what is going off." Yeah, I have no clue either. I didn't realize, like, it was, so I don't have it in my community, I guess, where anybody's really bringing that up. So it's
Mm.
interesting to like, so for me, it just felt like, "Oh, this is it just me feeling this way?" And then you go and say something, and I'm like, "Oh,
Oh, I feel like I've seen a lot of people complaining about it.
yeah,
About
but I don't." That's how crazy.
oh, that is super weird. Yeah, there's one like ADHD writer that I used to see regularly, and um, he was one of my favorites. And then like I think found him again like through a related note because I often will scroll related notes because sometimes random stuff I would never see pops up there. Um, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, like, this guy," and then I DM'd him, like, "Where have you been?" And then he's like, "Where have you been? Like, you're not in my feed, but now that I checked your profile, like, you've been active again," and he didn't even know, so, like, he was one of my regulars that I always, like, interacted with his notes and his posts, and I don't even see him in my feed anymore, and apparently he doesn't even see me in his feed, and I'm like, What's that about?" Like, makes me so sad.
There's somebody that I'm thinking about, and right now his name is drawing a blank, but I feel like I haven't seen any of his content, and I kind of miss it. And he was it was humorous stuff, but I can't remember his name, so I can't even like ask. But ooh, I love how one question just goes off on a tangent. Don't we love that?
Always,
It.
always.
I mean,
It's one
I think that's the perks of always coming prepared is that like we will never not have something to talk about.
yeah,
So
no, it's a hallmark of the inner room.
I'm glad, and I hope that, like, it continues to encourage people, even if ones continue to be anonymous, that I will we work around everybody. We support everybody's story regardless of, anonymity or not, and I am very, very grateful that you decided to bless us with your appearance, and I love this wig. Like, it is so fun, like, interviewing you. Do you know that? I'm fucking having a riot, so thank
Oh,
you
that's
everybody
fun.
thank you everybody for joining. If you're just, coming in, nag, nachos. Mark,
Nachos.
Mark, Mandy, thank you guys for coming. We're only on question 2, so you're not missing much, but motherhood is with me. Um,
Also, just so you know, like,
yeah.
Auda has to handle the chat because I cannot read. No,
She
I can,
she
like,
can't
barely see, like, a sliver.
I said, "Can you see any of it?" I feel like sometimes when you raise your head a little bit more than that's like you trying to like, "What? Let me see."
I
Uh
The reason why I have my head tilted this way instead of like this is because I have, like, a little window here where I can see you, but I cannot read. It's, like, too blurry. I can't read. It's too small.
So, I mean, I love the feedback of what this experience is like for you, though, because I'm over here like livid, and you're like, I can't even really see. But thanks for doing this. Motherhood
Art
unfolds.
art requires sacrifice, okay.
I love it. I love it. I really do. So what pulled you into writing? Has it always been your outlet or did it become one recently?
Okay, I put this in my Sunshine blog, post, so some of you may know this already, but I actually hate writing. Like, I I have ADHD, and, like, every single writing assignment in school, I, like, stayed up all night doing it at the last possible minute, and it's so hard for me to, like, executive function, stay on task that, like, I would chew gum and, like, put my feet up, like, on the desk on both either sides of the computer, and I would put, like, a stuffed animal on my head to, like, force me to balance it and, like, stay put. I listened to music and I chewed gum, like, I think I already said that, but I literally had to, like, jerry-rig my entire environment and physiology and nervous system just to force myself, not to mention the urgency of this is the night before it's due, to, like, get my papers done and essays written and crap like that. So I like writing as an assignment, like, if you give me a prompt, like, "Write this story," or "Finish this line," or something that I'm just like, no, like, I don't want to. So I don't really like writing for the sake of writing. I kind of wrote some, like, silly short stories when I was in middle school, but I wouldn't say I enjoyed it. I still think that was, like, pulling teeth. So for me, like, everything I've written has been more like just event sesh for me. I will write to get things out because that just flows out of me. It's like stream of consciousness. So, like, pretty much every post has been me either venting or just telling, like, a real thing that happened, like, when I got peed on at the restaurant. Because it's like, I will tell you hilarious anecdotes, or I'm just getting all my feelings out so they don't eat me alive. So, um, I don't consider myself, like, a writer in the way most people do probably on Substack.
Um, I guess that's fair, but I do adore your style of writing, and I do think that it is in its own rights therapeutic in its probably own ways. Obviously, there are questions about some of the things that you have written about. So
Is
I
that obvious?
yeah, so I pulled from I Am Tired, Having Fun in the Closet, and, the most recent Fuck. So, I have some cool questions to go off of some of your rants, and I do appreciate them. I think that it's definitely necessary, so I love that you allow us into your world a little bit, you know?
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, of course. So with that being said, out of those 3, which one did you enjoy, writing the most? I Am Tired, Fuck, or I Having Fun in the Closet?
Mm, I think so. I mean, if we're using the word enjoy, I mean, having fun in the closet was definitely the funnest one to write. But I think the one that was the most therapeutic was I Am Tired. Like,
Mm.
there was a lot of unloading of heaviness in that one, like, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot.
Well, I just wanna let you know that Momster just entered and she says motherhood. Um, so I'm glad she gets to see you.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Right. She's
it's
my
interesting that you brought I Am Tired because I that's, like, the first one that I kinda curated some questions. It is a little bit deeper, so I feel like that's the fun ones to get in first so we can, like, end on lighter, happier notes.
mhm.
You wrote about spiritual exhaustion, that moment when it feels like life just keeps asking for more. What helped you name that feeling inside instead of running from it?
Mm. So, I think I mentioned it in the post, but I heard about the concept in, like, a random note that I had read, which I think was even, like, in some related notes thread, where someone else literally wrote, like, what I was feeling, and I was like, "This" like, sometimes I can't even articulate what I'm feeling, but if I see it somewhere else, it's like, "Oh my god, yes, you articulated it," and that's like, if I could have put it into words, that's exactly what I would have said, and that's another reason, that keeps me on Substack, I would say, it's not just, like, community and chatting and talking and interacting with people, but also just, like, um, people's stories and their notes and their ideas are always so inspiring, and it's incredible how many people are going through similar shit, you know? Like, that's been a big takeaway from joining Substack is, like, I feel like we all think we're alone in the universe and alone in our experiences, and our pain and suffering and situation is so unique, but then, like, you spend enough time on Substack, you can find, like, 5 people who, like, are you're like, "Am I looking in a mirror? Like, did I write this?" Like, um, so that's been very cathartic, but, I don't know, I've come to a point where and I think you and I have talked about this just a lot, um, outside of Substack, but, um, I feel like I've come to a point in my life where all my old habits and ways of coping are just not working anymore, and so and also, like, I've come to the conclusion that well, okay, that's related. So my old ways of coping have been avoidance and don't feel the feelings and shove everything down and deny the feelings and put them all in a box, and recent events pretty much made that impossible, and I'm also about to be 40, so I'm definitely, like, facing my own mortality and, like, going through a midlife crisis or something, like, where it's just like, l this lifing isn't working anymore, like, all these old habits and old patterns and old coping mechanisms are, like, they're just not working, um, so yeah, so one of my ways to, like, feel the feelings instead of just numbing or avoiding or distraction is definitely, like, writing it out, and I don't always post everything, I definitely don't want to post everything, but even just writing in, like, a note or a draft for myself, like, really helps, um, as they say, like, move through the feelings and not, like, have it eat you alive or, like, actually, like, deal with it and acknowledge it in a more healthy way so that it doesn't, like, come out in an unhealthy way or explode later, or so it doesn't stay trapped inside and eat you alive, when you never deal with it, because that's been my MO for most of my life.
I'm going to assume you are probably not the only one, my friend. There are probably a lot of avoidant people, and if anybody is in this lovely live, you probably just help them walk through a great exercise way to start, feeling without overwhelming yourself too, right? Like, I think if you're not used to being in touch with some of your emotions and you spend too much time focusing on it and putting a lot of energy into it, I think sometimes it also can have its own negative look. So when something is no longer bringing joy to a situation, I tend to shift the perspective,
Mhm.
right? Um,
I knew you were
to
gonna
continue to help me move forward, right? Because I mean, there I don't need to constantly feel like I have to learn or to grow or to evolve or, keep moving the forward in whatever way. Like I'm also allowed to be like, today fucking sucks. I hate life. I hate people. Uh, I'm gonna stay in my fucking bed. Fuck everybody. I'm allowed those days too, and it's totally normal. And I feel like the more that we talk about shit like that, like you said, you find resonance in others, and in that way, it feels less lonely. And then it's like that really like that cliche saying misery loves company, but like we're not pulling each other down. We're just like, I empathize what you're going through because honestly, I'm going through that shit too. And the way that you said that, the way that you communicated that, um, is something that moved me deeply. And I appreciate people being able to pour out words that can tap into me. So that's why it's always interesting when I listen to music. I love Sia. Because lyrics and the way a song can hit somebody is no different than how any piece of beautiful written art on this app can move people. So, ah, I love that. I love that little conversation for us. And I love that you find resonance here because like I said, I think it's truly beneficial for all people if we start realizing that a little bit more hugging and a little less fighting can get us a lot further.
Yeah, honestly, I just read one of your posts last night that totally gutted me, like, um, I knew I had an inkling of what you've been going through just from, like, a lot of your posts, but I never knew that I thought the person who ghosted you maybe was, like, under a year relationship, but when you wrote that sentence that someone was with you for 6 years and then just like that, like, out of nowhere disappeared, like, I don't understand. I'm just like, "I had no idea, I'm so sorry," like, I feel for you, that gutted me. I don't like, like, I get attached after 2 weeks, and if someone ghosts me, I'm devastated, like, and I've been with people for 6 years, and I'm still in touch with my ex that I was with for 6 years, like, I mean, we don't talk frequently, but we certainly, like, are able to communicate, so I'm just floored, honestly, like, I wanted to ask you, how are you how are you okay right now? Like, are you okay right now? Because that's insane, like,
You're
that's
okay, so my recent situation, I was with that person for 2 years, and it's gonna come up to
even that's, like, a hella long time of, like, life to spend together, like, I don't
I knew her probably for 3 because, again, I was her boss, I was her friend, we were coexisting in a lot of the same spaces, and she was definitely somebody that I found, connection with once I kinda moved back to New York, so I was in a familiar place not knowing anybody again, and, like, this was a new person, and so I there's a lot of that experience that I'm still learning from and growing from, but my 6-year relationship was with my ex-fiance, and that's my Florida situation. So, I lived a whole life down there, and I, like, packed it up, and I drove back to New York with 2 dogs instead of 3 because I had lost one down there, and my mom, and I'd, like, never, like, thought about it or talked about it or anything, and just, like, I kept moving because, PetSmart is a high demand fucking job. Like, when you're in retail, it is very fucking stressful, and this time of year definitely puts a damper on the holidays for people,
yeah.
so I'm actually really excited that I don't have a fucking job like that anymore, and I can just enjoy Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas with my family and not have to worry about what I have to do or what I am doing or how I'm behind on work or what needs to get done or having people still call me and blow up my phone in all different hours of the night because of the business. Like, I am looking forward to that's the positive side that stays with me, but, I think sharing my experiences and stuff like that will continue to help motivate people. I get inspired on a daily basis by a dog trainer who is a she talks about her own addictions with alcoholism and drugs, and she is a single mother of 3, and she is a dog
Whoa.
trainer, and she made, half $500,000 this year from her online dog training, and she's a Black woman, and
Mhm.
I fucking love her, and she inspires me every day because I'm just like, "Yeah, you could be at your lowest as an addict and have this fucking wild trajectory and improve the life for your children." At the end of the day, that's what she's doing is providing something to her kids that she didn't have, and she's learning through her own healing and how to continue to help her 2 sons and her daughter navigate this world because this shit is crazy, motherfucker. Like, the things that they should teach kids in school, they don't, and I get so fucking frustrated. But because you can't see, I just wanna take a second and, read some stuff. Obviously, Beth and Momster said hello to each other, and I love the inter-chat, connections there. Um, Momster said, "Yes, please. More kindness, please." Brittany AM, Mamma Mia, thanks for joining. Beth says, "You are reclaiming yourself." Oh, life is interesting that way. And Carlos, thanks for joining. Um,
Wow.
if he says, "Love the wig." I mean, you know who this is, right? This is a Sia wig on top of motherhood because she's amazing. But we obviously appreciate you guys being here, and you got here right on time, Carlos. Like, just know that. He says got here late, and he's right on time because we're really just getting started. Because
You missed everything, Carlos.
you know, now you have to listen. He at least showed, like,
I know,
we remind him several times. He got here. He's here. We appreciate it. Gary, thanks for joining us. um, so staying on the I am tired thread, you said who I am.
Oh,
Who
wait,
am I?
before we go on to the next question, um, mentioning how, like, kids in school and stuff like that,
Oh,
a friend of mine just recommended that I watch Adolescence on Netflix. Have you seen that show?
I refuse to watch it. I feel like it's gonna freak me the fuck out.
Okay, it kinda does, but it was eye-opening. Um, I understand why it's, like, Emmy award winning and people are talking about it now, but oh my god, like, it it's not a happy show, and it kind of still haunts me, but more in, like, this kinda shit happens to, like, teenagers these days, not so much like a scary horror or, like it's, like, a little bit I don't know how to describe it. it's not the worst thing I've watched psychologically that like Hunger Games screwed me up mentally more than this, even though this is tragic and horrible. But like, yeah, hit me up if you've seen Adolescence because we could talk. Like that show's crazy.
Well,
And also I'm
apparently,
terrified of being a parent. Just it honestly like makes me want to like move to freaking the Netherlands and like never come back here or something. Like even
I
though it took place in like London, but still I'm just like homeschooling. Like I don't know. Like
listen.
it's terrifying being a parent today. I really feel like it's terrifying. I don't.
I mean,
I,
it's definitely not for the weak, and I do commend all parents, mothers and fathers. You guys are the real MVPs here, because this, like I always say, whoever you believe in knew better not to give me a child because I don't know what I would have done. I still have no patience, so it's really hard for me to understand how I would ever help a little thing figure out this world. So I definitely commend how
well, you have a nephew, right?
I do, and he just texts me, and I'm just like, oh, leave me alone. Like I have to drop off his bag at school, but like there's no service in his school, so it's always like a fucking hunting game. Like, how am I gonna find him? So it's a weird situation. But Mia saw Adolescence, and she said it's great. I feel like I definitely, a lot of people definitely referred and talked about it, but I just every time I'd watch like a preview, I'd be like, no, it's gonna pull me in a space I cannot be at this time. Dove Wilson, thanks for joining. Beth said I did watch part of that disturbing. Leora, thanks for joining. Yeah, so like for me, it's just like I definitely protect my energy, and if I know things are gonna fucking bug me out, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. But
Yeah, I'm usually exactly like that, which is why I never watched it in the first place. But this was a good friend of mine that like recommended it, so I was
I'm
like,
sure it's
okay,
really good. It's
finish
probably
it too.
beautifully haunting. It's probably beautifully haunting.
No, no, there's not. It's not beautiful. There's
No,
nothing
I
beautiful.
hope there's a beautiful meaning.
There's
You're
nothing.
not late. Everybody's just right on time. Everything is fine. Brittany's saying yes, protect the energy. I have to, and I feel like now though I feel tempted to at least watch the first episode, but
The
I don't
first episode was the worst one, though. Honestly, for
know.
me, anyway. It was hardest for me to watch.
Jesus Christ. So this is gonna be difficult for me.
Yeah,
That
I
said, it is good, but it is hot. But yes, it's haunting. Robert, thanks for joining. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could talk about that in a whole nother life. If I ever do it, we'll spend some time unpacking adolescence and
yeah, I would say it's more like a piece that really makes you think,
yeah.
but
But I mean, I do like that. I mean, tickle my
but
brain.
there's no like silver lining. I don't see one anyway. Like it's like, damn, that happened, and holy shit, that's a lot to unpack and think about and wrap my brain around. Like,
Yeah,
whew.
it's just all heavy. It's all heavy.
Mhm.
Mm. Well, we're gonna move into another heavy question.
Okay,
You said, "Who am I really?" Or maybe the better question is, "Who do I want to be?" Where do you think you are with that question now?
no clue. I'm Sia.
I mean, that's not a bad person to be. Just then you have to move and think like her. And I'm pretty sure if you had Sia energy 24/7 in your life, you might get to see your Sia level. Does that make sense?
I don't honestly know much about her personal life. I just love her music and her voice. And I know and the one anecdote I know about her is that she can apparently write like a song like in 5 minutes or something. She's really good at coming up with catchy melodies.
In,
But
t- in touch with her feelings or no?
I have no idea.
Hmm.
But I mean, aren't most musicians? I don't know.
I think any creative person would have to be sometimes, you know?
You would think, right? But I have no idea. I've never really like researched her at all.
It's just the coolest wig ever.
It's just convenient. I took a page from her book for
I
anonymity, even though we all have seen her face and my face. We're pretty similar.
it's working really good because I've already forgotten it apparently. I'm gonna move to the other post. This question is coming from fuck. The post reads like a breaking point, the exhaustion of always being the peacekeeper. What was the hardest part of hitting publish on something that raw?
Honestly, this was the second time I've published an angry piece about my mother. The other one I published was way scarier because it was probably, like, the 3rd thing I'd ever published on Substack, and that was truly a coping moment where I was like I feel like I had, like, just gotten a horrible text message or something. I was spiraling majorly, and I'm just, like, it just, like, gets under my skin, and I spiral, and it just really affects my emotions, and, I'm a wreck, and the thing is, like, I can't the one of the biggest reasons why I say, like, all my old coping mechanisms just don't work anymore is because 'cause I'm a freaking mom, and I have this, like, angelic little daughter who's looking at me constantly, and I don't wanna be this, like, horrible I don't want her to pick up all my bad habits and all my I don't want her to make the same mistakes and things like that, so that's a huge responsibility and a huge motivator to change and try to be better, and, so whereas normally I would be like a total wreck and just destroyed emotionally and maybe like really snippy or like don't talk to me or like I'm freaking out or I'm depressed now, like just all the emotions of like trauma from your mother. Like um as I've gotten older, I feel like I've gotten better at like not taking things in, like not taking letting things get under my skin and not letting them affect me so emotionally. But with my daughter, like I feel like I need to do even better than just that because how can I be there for her? How can I be present for her? How can I focus on getting shit done around the house or, making her meals? Like all that falls on me. So like, I have to have my shit together for a number of reasons for, keep the house together and find a job and, like, make sure she's taken care of and make sure she's, um, got attention, all those things. So that was, like, a true moment of, like I was like, "You need to sit with your dad," and, like, "I just need 15 minutes. Like, I have to go, like, get this out or I'm gonna be a nightmare and I'm not gonna be able to function." Like, it was truly, like and this was the first one, this wasn't the latest post. Um, and so I literally wrote it in, like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something, and I just hit publish, and I was super nervous about that one because it was so personal, it was so raw, um, and again, it was the 3rd thing I'd ever posted on Substack, it was like, "Is this what I want my blog to be known for or something?" I don't know how people are gonna react, but I thought, "Fuck it," you know what I mean? I'll publish it, and then that ended up being, to this day, one of my most popular, like, I got, like, the most comments on that ever. I got the most views, I got the most likes on that one, and it's one of those things that I've actually seen a lot of other people put in notes as well, where they were like, the piece that I was most afraid to post, that was most scary and vulnerable and raw, that I was most nervous about hitting publish, like, so many people said they could relate. And that's exactly what happened to me, where all these people came out of the woodwork and everybody was like telling me their stories about their mom and like how they were coping and how they were setting boundaries, and people that had gotten on contact and people that were just like rooting for me and encouraging me. I mean, it was overwhelming, and I was so shocked. Um, so this latest one was kind of like I kind of had a little bit more confidence after that, where I was like, I don't think this is as scary, and it's not quite as raw, and like it's kind of like I've already posted a bunch of things. This is not my like introduction, so um, that one was like not nearly as scary to hit publish. But I felt like it was necessary for me to get it out because I'd been much better recently again about, like, not internalizing things, not, um, letting things get under my skin, but that day, oof, it was like a whole 'nother level of, like, "Okay, this hit me," and I'm not doing good at sort of, like, putting up the defenses and not letting it get to me, like, it really got to me, so I was like, "I just need to write this out, like, immediately."
How do you feel after? Like, how did you feel after?
I definitely feel lighter after getting things off my chest. Talking with friends about stuff helps me so much. So like any of you that I vented to, I just want to say like thank you because that you might not feel like you're doing much for me, but it is a huge help. I mean, especially you, Ada. I've vented to you so many times too. Like it helps so much because um I'm an overthinker and I have really big feelings. a lot of feelings and they're really big feelings, and if I can't get them out, like, they literally I will just be stuck in my brain overthinking, overfeeling, like, going in circles, just going mad, and if I don't get it out, like, it's really bad for me. So, I think talking to a person helps more for me because it I feel like, the fact that someone's hearing me and then, even if you don't say anything, because at the end of the day, when I vent, I'm not looking for any solution or any answers or any fixes. I just wanna feel seen and heard, and so as long as, like, they can see my side of the story and they can understand what I'm saying, if I feel like they're empathizing with me and understanding, then that's, like, just a huge weight off my shoulders, and I feel so much lighter, and I feel like I can it's like I can focus and I have a lot more peace because all the turmoil and emotions and thoughts swirling around inside me, like, I put them down and now I can, like, move on and do other things. So, but of course, I mean, I also feel like you can only talk to people so much before you, um overstay your welcome or like exhaust people's capacity. Everybody only has so much capacity to give. And especially when you have like really long ongoing things that aren't just like a one-time thing, like, oh, I lost my job or oh, I got into a car wreck. Like that's like kind of like a one-off thing and you can like ask your friends for help, but, like, when you have, like, major depression that just keeps going on for years, or, like, when you have, like, a toxic parent that you've had for your entire life and you vent about them constantly, like, there's only so many times you can go back to the same friend with, like, the same shit before they probably get, like, tired or, like, I don't know what to say or, like, "This again?" or something, and I know everybody means well, and I know, like, people care, but I really, like, I've lived it, and I know it's just human nature, so that's why journaling comes in handy because can still get it out, but, you don't have to necessarily, like, exhaust the people in your life. You can save those situations for other times when it isn't, like, this ongoing, recurring thing that's fucking, like, all the time bothering you.
I feel like I have to pull a me at this time, with what you're saying, because I feel like obviously that's been your experience, or maybe that's how you have felt in return, like if somebody has done that to you. And I do believe like word vomiting on people, sometimes like emotionally like dumping on people sometimes can be taxing, but I also feel like people do have capacity to hold space for people, and if you feel like it's getting to the point where it's reached a capacity, it might be more of you and the fact that you're not willing to break through the next ceiling required to alleviate why this is a consistent problem in your life, you know? So, my takeaway is more reflective on the sense of, or if I feel like somebody is I can't go to them anymore about a situation because the best friend that I let go and cleared my table with, she would redundantly come with the same issue, and it's not that I got overwhelmed with it or anything like that, or it annoyed me or anything like that, but at a point, my answers are going to be consistently the same, and they're gonna sound redundant, and if you don't want to hear it, then you'll stop telling me about it, and it's still up to you to stop avoiding what you need to process to continue to move further through it, and that's where I feel like being friends with me is hard on people because some people don't want the constant reminder that they're avoiding something that they need to process. So,
I
I
so I
have
agree I agree with you on some topics, but I completely disagree with you on other topics because it's not always something where, like, it's on the person venting to, like, face their demons or feel their feelings or stop avoiding things they should, fix, like, sometimes that is the case, and I hear you and I agree with you on that, but, like, I'll give you an example. Um, 2023 was the worst year of my life, and it wasn't, like, my fault, it wasn't, like, my patterns or anything, it was just a shit year where, like, everything bad possibly could happen, and it was, like, every month, it was just, like, fucked up shit that just kept happening, and I mean, it really got to the point where, like, I had anxiety every morning because I was so terrified of what's gonna happen today, like, literal, like, fear and anxiety of the future because every day like, the year just kept getting fucking worse, and it got to the point where, um, I stopped reaching out to a bunch of my friend groups. Like, I lost, like, a bunch of friends over the course of that year, and again, you could say this was, like, me feeling a certain kind of way, but really, like, I feel like people can only I just think it's human nature, like, it's not a dig on anyone, I just think when you're around someone who's constantly negative and who has nothing but bad things to say and who has nothing but bad news, like, it's human nature to just sort of, like, avoid and, um, I don't know, just get it's almost like this subconscious, like, maybe that person's not good for me, or maybe that's contagious. Like, maybe I don't want that in my life or something, you know? But like I basically got so tired of hearing myself like always have bad news. Like there's like group chats where people would check in and be like, "Hey, how's everybody doing?" Or like I would reach out to a group that I hadn't talked to in a while to like tell them something. And at first it was like, like, "Oh my god, you guys, my brother died." Like and everybody, reached out with like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry and are you okay? And like, do you need anything?" But then, the 10th time that you have horrible news to give, you just like I get tired of it. I don't like hearing myself complain constantly. I don't like delivering bad news constantly. Um I don't like being the negative person, and so at some point, I think also it's a coping mechanism for me. I think it's human nature for people to avoid, like, negativity and negative situations the same way people will, like, step around a homeless person and, like, not wanna see that and not wanna look because it's sad and people don't know how to deal with sad things, and maybe they're like there's this subconscious, like, "I don't wanna catch whatever they have," kind of, like, old mentality, but I think also maybe a coping mechanism is mine is, like, I get tired of hearing myself, like, just have bad things to say. I get tired of answering the question, "How are you?" Because I mean, like that year where it's like, I'm either gonna lie and say I'm fine, which doesn't feel great because 'cause I'm definitely not fine, or I'm gonna tell you the truth, which is more sadness and trauma, and I'm tired of talking about that. I'm sure you're tired of hearing that from me. And yeah, I think people just get exhausted. Like, there's only so many times you can say, like, "I'm praying for you," and, like, "My thoughts and prayers are with you," and stuff. When you're not, like, physically close to someone and you can't, like, do anything but give them kind words, it's like, at a point, what else do you say, like, "Shit, this shit keeps happening to you, like, sorry?" Like, so, um so I hear you, but it's not always, like, you need to put in the work to, like, fix your shitty situation that you're constantly dealing with.
Yeah, I didn't really mean it to come off like put in the work type way, but I don't know. I feel like if everybody just avoided people that may be in a negative mindset in the moment, how would they ever get out of it?
It's not avoiding people that are just negative, it's the constant negativity. Like, it's like I said, like, beginning of the year, a couple things happen, you do what everyone does, you go to your friends, but, like, after, like, 6 or 7 or 8 months of having nothing but bad news, um, that's when it's, like, tough on both ends, I think. Like,
Yeah.
and I have my best friend, like, she's ride or die that I've known for over 20 years, and, like, I know I can tell her anything, and I know she won't judge me, and I know, like, she's never gonna, not listen, but I'm also a considerate person where, like, I know I personally my personal choice of, like, being considerate for her feelings and her life and knowing that she has her own difficulties and her own child and her own family and stuff like that, that, like, I also wanna be cognizant of how much I'm trauma dumping on her, like, I might do it every once in a while, but I can't, like, go to her every time I have an issue,
Yeah.
um,
I
so just
I
that.
mean, I guess everybody has their own limitations, but I think, like I said, I just feel like it's more internal. I'm not speaking from like as if I do anything that's actually correct. I definitely have gotten myself through my own stuff by myself. But I think because like I never had anybody to like talk to or rely on or have like those conversations with, so I could only trust myself to get me through that. So it's a little bit of a different experience, but I feel like because of that, I am very much more likely to sit here and listen to you, even if it's the same thing every fucking day, just because I enjoy being hope for others and lights for others. And, you know, if if that becomes something that somebody doesn't wanna do, that's more on them, their decision because of how it's making them feel, not on listen and say the person listening. That was just how kind of I was thinking. But I know the chat said some stuff in here, so I wanted to because time is fucking flying. I don't know what's happening. I'm like looking at the time. I'm like, oh my god, my nephew keeps texting me. I'm like, did you guys notice though? I'm in my head talking myself off a ledge and still listening to you and being like, ah, chat. We have to get to the chat. But sometimes I don't understand how my brain functions. The weight of almost says the essays I've been the most scared to publish have performed the best. People respond to being real and raw. 100% do. Beth says, this is why we are here. 100% do. Rebecca, thanks for joining. Mia says, we see you. Beth says, oh my God, my house just shook. I hope everything's okay. Be right back. Oh my God. There's a house shaking. Beth, you need to report, make sure everything's okay. Doc
Yeah.
and Richard, thanks for joining. Leora says, "Oh, I've had stretches like that. You end up feeling like trauma woman, so it's really hard to consistently share bad news." Beth says, "I feel this," and then Sacred Storylines, thanks for joining. Hmm. Yeah, uh, I s- I feel like I've never shared the big things. I guess that or acknowledged that anything ever happened to me. Like I never really talked about it, so I didn't ever have anybody to like. I don't know. So I've never really I don't think I've been in that position to be able to talk about it, I guess. So that's why my perspective again, it's just different perspectives, same, new shit. Sober Sam, with the golden plan, thanks for joining. All right. Well, since I do have to make sure I don't go too over because I apparently have to do aunt duties. I do love children, even though I don't have them. I think they're quite amazing. But my nephew, man. That says it is okay. There seem to be major military practices at base near me. I thought someone hit my house. All good. Whoa.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you're okay because that sounds it's terrifying.
That does sound terrifying. Whoa.
Yeah.
Um wait,
Talk
I feel like
about shifting a perspective. At least our houses aren't shaking out of.
I know. I
Things
mean,
are
I'm
even
just I'm just I'm
possible.
just here like, okay, what's fun and engaging? Because I'm like, I gotta shift to a different question to end on a lighter note. Yeah, I'm sure it was Beth. I'm glad though that everything is okay. Everybody's okay. Thank you again for all being with me. And if you just joined, that's Motherhood. Hope everyone is having a great day. Sober Sam with the golden plan says, "I love the pillow." It's amazing. I also loved how much I kind of I giggle a lot with you. Um, all right, so I've gotten to like 3 fucking questions, bro. You're gonna have to come back.
Because I talk too much. I know.
It's not that. I mean, it's just like when there is context that allows things to kind of naturally flow, then that's all that these questions are supposed to do. I love it. I just feel like, damn, you're gonna have to come back because I have some really good ones. That we're probably not gonna get to, but it's okay. Listen, we're gonna do some fun shit though. You can have one entire day to yourself. No mom duties, no work, no expectations. What are you doing with it?
Oh my god. I don't know. Where do I start? Um, uh, probably, I don't know. All I can think of is what I did on my last day where, like, I drove to the city. I did, like, a day trip to the beach, and I'm also not a beach person, but sometimes I like to sit by the water, because I don't know, it makes me very reflective, and it's so freaking big and powerful, and I don't know, it just I think the being in the presence of the ocean always makes me think, and it definitely shifts the perspective of just like, damn, look how vast and mysterious that is, and just like the waves are so powerful, and like I don't know, the ocean is crazy. And I grew up in the desert in New Mexico. That's where I grew up. So um, I never grew up around like huge bodies of water. So it's definitely like a different experience for me. Um, Yeah, it's not I think I would just take a day trip and, like, get away and, like, go, like, exploring and, like, find, like, a cool cafe to hang out in or, like, find a new restaurant to eat in that looks good, like, um a long time ago, it would be like find a cool bar to like get a drink in, but I don't really drink anymore. So, um, yeah, or find a library. I love books and reading, so I'm always down to check out like libraries and bookstores and other places. There's a lot of local bookstores around here, so yeah, I would probably just take a day trip and like go explore new things, and I also would like do things that I normally can't with my kids, like maybe I can't tell you the last time I was at a movie theater, so
Mm.
maybe go watch a movie. Also, just I tend to like drive way too fast and listen to my music way too loud because those are things you definitely cannot do with a toddler in the back. Um, so yeah, even just getting to listen to like not Paw Patrol and Spider-Man music is nice.
I love this energy too. What I've noticed being around mothers, because that's what I find myself around. I just wish I had a kid, but instead I have this thing,
Mhm.
this is
Your
my
first
child.
child.
This is my child. But I am always like, just a simple thing of like, I can get up and leave my house literally whenever the fuck I want. Like, I don't ever have to like think about anything.
Yeah.
And like when you have children, like there's like, am I taking them? Like, are they staying here? Like, they're not young enough. They're not old enough to stay here. Like, there's a whole like it definitely like yeah. That's why I'm like, oh, I don't know if I was ever built to be a parent, but I have no problem hanging around them. I love children. I think that they are always the future because if you hang around them long enough, their perspectives and the way that you see life starts changing too. Because I think we're all supposed to kind of stay kids, you know. Um, but
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like having a kid definitely made me realize how much I took for granted when I was childless slash single and childless. Like I did not know how much freedom and free time that I had, um, but there was something this other mom named Malka, um, she's got a pretty big following and I love her. I love all her posts. She's got 7 kids and like I don't even know how she finds time to post, but on top of that, she like does triathlons and, like, races and, like, exercises every day and writes, like, the coolest notes ever and has, like, the best parenting hacks ever. I mean, she's just phenomenal. She's definitely one of my heroes. Um, but she had a recent post about, like, how you're always gonna fill the time that you have no matter what. Kind of like if you have 1 kid or you have 7 kids, it's kind of the same. You're gonna, like, figure it out and find the time. And even if you have no kids, like, you're gonna be busy, you're gonna feel busy because 'cause you're always gonna fill the time that you have. And I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it. She did it much better, but
stop doing that. Uh, Beth said she raised 4, and she said I'm still alive, barely.
but,
I mean, I'm sure we're exhausting. Humans are exhausting, so being responsible for any amount of them is a lot. That's also why I think teachers should get a lot more praise because they're the ones that are influencing your children for a good chunk of change during the day so that you can go make your living and stuff. So I do feel like anybody that you allowed access to your child is somehow impacting them. So that's why it's really
yeah.
important to pay attention to who you keep around yourself and for you. And I meant to give you kudos because you said like, having your daughter has allowed you to want to improve certain aspects of your life. And I don't think you realize how that having kids doesn't always do that for people, you
Mhm.
know? My best friend, her child is like 15 and she's still in prison. And I don't know really the relationships that they have, but there's only so much of a relationship you can have when you don't ever see your mom or when your only remembrance of your mom is when she's on drugs. So it's just like, I hope that her child would have helped her. But
Right.
what I was scared of was that she was actually going to hurt that child, right? By being who she is and this unapologetically self and can't tone it down a little bit. Um, and obviously just very avoidant person. So, um, but yeah, so I wanted to give you kudos because it does take a lot to recognize that there is a bigger picture. You are now moving through life impacting a whole other person's life, and there's a lot to be said of somebody who wants to do it in a good way. So you should be giving yourself more rounds of applause and pats on the backs and less of the beating up, you know? Be nice to my friends. That's what people say. Um, that
Easier
said,
said than
that said, this is a level of crazy I can't believe I made it through. Go moms. Yeah, I mean, women are amazing. I love women. I am always supporting and promoting women. Everybody knows this. I'm a big fan of women, remarkable human beings. Um, so I don't want to be the bearer of bad news.
but
But
there's but coming.
but unfortunately, I have to go do aunt duties, and I have to go shovel over a bag to my nephew. But I do feel like obviously this conversation can go much longer than an hour.
Oh, of course. Yeah, for sure.
So
We could definitely talk for hours.
I feel like you just need to be like in November because that would be the perfect time to go gathering room with me, and we just need to come up with something cool and like holiday driven and have more of a fun time and a tradition of maybe you join me for the holidays virtually, sharing some recipes of something because we can't just make bechamel, right?
Yeah, that
So
would be
maybe,
boring.
but we can make a lasagna together.
Hey, we
I'm
could.
just I'm just saying, I love lasagna, and lasagna is amazing, and you don't have to make a big one if you're a singular person. You can there's all these cool pans now and everything. I love lasagna, but
You
and
know,
everybody
my philosophy when I make anything is make a huge portion because I love leftovers. Like I don't know how to cook small. Like even if I was just cooking for me, I would still make a big ass portion so that I could freeze it, like have leftovers because I like cooking, but I don't like cooking every single day and every single meal, but I like having homemade food for most meals. So making a giant batch is key. Got to have
see,
the leftovers.
I mean, lasagna is so good the next day too, so you get it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just putting it out into the fucking universe apparently, but I think in November you should be my first gathering room host, and we should make
Let's
lasagna together.
do it. Let's do it.
Though there won't be any questions, but I mean, I really don't think we'll need them. Like, I think we'll be able to have fun, you know, cooking and sharing stories and swapping shit and just
Yeah,
having banter and hanging out with our chat and,
exactly. Like Selena and Chef.
hey, hey.
I need to get a Selena Gomez costume for that.
I mean, I please do. Please do. That would be epic. Leora said this was great. Thanks to both of you. This was great because Motherhood has joined us, and I can't thank and appreciate her enough for doing so. Of course, because Marlena's out of my damn mind is trying to keep herself together, and trying to be professional. I have a little outro. You've been in the inner room where the conversations go deep, the connections surprise, and the truths linger long after the world quiets down. Until next time, keep listening inward because that's where the stories that shape us really live. Thank you, Motherhood, for being here. And apparently, I'll probably see you in November. We'll chat soon.
Yeah.
All
Do it.
right.
Bye.
Bye.